Welcome to 5 Star Weekly. We now know our group draw in the MLS's back tournament. And this week in the Soccer Trivia Showdown, it's the decisive final between Tanner and me. Who will win? Find out next. Welcome to the show, 5 Star fam. I'm AJ and this is Tanner and Mark. Before we get into it, become a member of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube. This segment is sponsored by Thinking Man Tavern, a cozy Decatur neighborhood pub. Grab a tasty beverage from a wide variety of selections and a plate of something delicious from the menu. To go, check out Thinking Man Tavern. Follow our Twitch for new streams and surprises on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/ATL UTD FanTV. Let's get right into the news, and we now know our matchups in our group draw. We have been drawn into Group E, and we share the likes of this group with the New York Red Bulls, Columbus Crew, and FC Cincinnati. We first drew FC Cincinnati, and that seemed pretty, that's a pretty good draw there. And then you get, of course, the New York Red Bulls. After Carlos Bocanegra drew number 3, his number that he wore as a player, and our time against the New York Red Bulls hasn't exactly always been super fun, but and then you also get a really, I think, kind of dark horse in this group with the Columbus Crew. I think many would have chosen that they might have been kind of a team that might have gone for MLS Cup because they've been kind of recruiting pretty well in the off season. So with all that said, these are the other groups, and then we'll get the reactions from Mark and Tanner. So in Group A, it was pretty much determined before the draw even happened in a very curious way that Orlando and Miami would be in Group A. The rest of that group is Inter Miami, NYCFC, Philadelphia Union, and Chicago Fire, and also in Nashville. And Group B, in the Western Conference, the Sounders, FC Dallas, Whitecaps, and the Earthquakes. Group C, Toronto, the Revolution, Montreal Impact, DC United. Group D, Real Salt Lake, Sporting Kansas City, Colorado Rapids, and Minnesota United. And then Group F, LAFC, LA Galaxy, Houston Dynamo, and Portland Timbers. Now, what do you guys think of our draw? And then we'll ask you if there's a group of death to you guys. So, Mark, what do you think about our group and your initial thoughts?
Manageable, obviously, like you see Red Bull New York, especially in a quote-unquote regular season setting, and it's like, ugh, but it is what it is. I don't think any of this is going to be very normal anyway, but, I expect that matchup to be tough. And I agree with you with Columbus being a sleeper, you know what I mean? And, it's a reunion with Darlington, so it would be cool to see, it would just be cool to see that matchup. With the third place team possibly going through, I think Atlanta United is probably safe in terms of advancing, but obviously they should be trying to win the group, or at the very least come second. But I think it's manageable.
Tanner?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I mean, I think the ideal group in an area would have been Cincinnati, Nashville, and Chicago, but you're never going to get that lucky. Things like that don't happen in sports, but yeah, I think that Columbus is a good shout for a decent team that honestly is a type. I think Columbus is the type of team that could win this tournament because of how tournaments are set up. If they start playing and get lucky in a couple spots and get hot, then they could win. Obviously you prefer it to be a little bit easier because these games, to my understanding, for regular season points. So you absolutely have to take care of business against Cincinnati. And Red Bull are tough games, but Red Bull isn't the team they used to be. I mean, they've lost a lot of players and they've gotten older, and they're not a team that, I feel has been replacing the players that they've lost with quality. So, if finally, get a win over Red Bull in the regular season, I think this is your best shot. So, Indiana should go through, and if they don't, that would be very disappointing.
Yeah, so in terms of that, talking about the Columbus Crew, Caleb Porter is their head coach. Also that reunion with Darlington Nagbe, but they are a team that can play very, one would say in a negative way, maybe in a sense too, maybe kind of perfect in this type of tournament where, if you kind of prioritize just really results in not really a playing style, trying to play attractive football, then this kind of tournament really might suit you pretty well if you maybe don't have as an team that's trying to play attacking style that you can just impose yourself on other teams. And definitely us without a Joseph Martinez, we will really be struggling to maybe put the ball in the back of the net, because we'll be wondering where the goals will come from. Obviously, we've seen early on in the season that Joseph Martinez and Ezequiel Barco and Emerson Hyman have been putting the goals away, but can that form continue? And after such a long layoff, and pretty much been 3-4 months, so it's gonna be really a test for us, especially against some, I think, savvy teams that are not gonna let us just play at will. So it'll be pretty difficult. But yeah, I agree that we should at least get second place, and if we can get beyond that, that'd be great, of course. Now, group of death for any of you guys, is there one that stood out, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, that LAFC, LA Galaxy, from the time you see those two teams paired together, it does appear tough. I will say Galaxy really did not look very good at the beginning of the 2020 season. So it may, in Portland, they kind of tailed off last year. I feel like Houston hasn't made the playoffs in a few years. Group D is also kind of interesting in that I think those teams are pretty evenly matched. You have Salt Lake and Kansas City, who they tend to be perennial postseason teams, and then I think the Rapids and Minnesota United would have been sort of tough this year as well. So I think those two groups probably stand out to me.
Yeah, Tanner?
Yeah, I have to agree with him. I think with Group D, you have to think of how well Colorado was playing at the end of last season. I mean, they almost made the playoffs despite being absolutely hopeless at the beginning of the season. Around, and Minnesota was a much improved team last year. So as far as who's going to come out of that group, I think very questionable. I think group of death, yeah, you think the LA teams, but it really depends on, do Carlos Vela and Chicharito show up? Because to my knowledge, I think both of them, their partners, are expecting children at some point in time in the near future. So in LA without Carlos Vela, that's a lot. I mean, that's the same thing as taking a Joseph Martinez out of Atlanta United. I kind of talked about this a little bit on stream, how Chicharito, he's a poacher, and he's not going to give you Zlatan would give you. He's not going to give you the range of passing. He's not going to give you the audacious, just outrageous goals. He's a box player, and you have to have chances being created, 18-yard box for him to really be effective. So unless LA Galaxy are doing that, they're not necessarily going to be great. So depending on who shows up, that group might not be nearly as tasty as we'd like it to be. But I think it is interesting how the tournament is, and really because what's happened with COVID, you really don't know what you're going to get from a lot of these teams, because like you said, AJ, teams can prioritize negative. It's about results in the tournament. If you're playing a season, you have 34 games. You should be expected to play well if you're a big team. But in a tournament, you just need to win games. So that might not necessarily, exclude Atlanta United from being a bit more negative given the injury situation that they have with Joseph. So it'll be interesting. If anything, pragmatist. So maybe we'll see not necessarily the expansive attacking football that we'd like to see. Then again, we didn't really see it last year either.
Yeah, no, fair points indeed. For me, I think, everybody looks at Group F, but I look at the likes of Group C that have Toronto, that have a resurgent kind of revolution. They also have Montreal Impact, with led by Thierry Henry. You have DC United. These are all, I think, on par teams with each other. I think the only standout maybe being Toronto, and even then, could they actually be on form as we know that they can probably? It really kind of, I think, lends itself to a pretty competitive group. I think, Group A, there have been reports that, just from the beginning, you have 6 clubs in one group. That's pretty much mathematically less of a chance for each of those to actually get through. And so it's, for me, too bad for Orlando City, boo-hoo, but it also is, any of those other clubs in that group, that is a disadvantage that they have to work through. So it is kind of sucky for them. I mean, if we were kind of drawn in that type of group, I think we would complain as well. So, yeah, it's interesting that they did it that way. But anyway, if it wasn't reported or if we didn't talk about it last week, it is a 1.1 million prize money pool that will be, I guess, kind of delineated throughout, I think is what the reports are. But in terms of, the reactions from at least Carlos Bocanegra and some of the other teams in our group, Carlos Bocanegra said that his primary emotion was excitement and getting back to the field after a long hiatus. He says, quote, "We're just excited to get back to playing soccer. We knew we were going to be facing all Eastern Conference teams in the tournament. Obviously, we've had some good games against the Red Bulls lately, and Columbus rebuilt and have been really strong, and we played Cincinnati already this year. We're excited to play, excited to be back out on the field, and looking forward to a good month down in Florida." I don't really know exactly what Carlos Bocanegra was talking about good games against the Red Bulls lately, because, they still haven't really been, I think, exactly to our wanting. But, yes, if we're talking about the playoff win, then yes, of course. But Chris Armas, Exactly. And so Chris Armas, the New York Red Bull head coach, he says the games are different without fans, but I don't think we could meet. I don't think we could meet Atlanta at a park and no one watching, and it wouldn't be heated. We're not scared. We love the challenge every time. That's one of the reasons why we've done well. We went after them in preseason too. There'll be a lot going on in that game. It'll be great. Now, there's a lot going on in the world, obviously, and also in Florida. There's, according to the Florida's Department of Health, they confirmed that the state has more than 80,000 total confirmed cases of COVID-19, and it now leads the U.S. in new cases. And also yesterday, according to Daniel Udfelder, Florida tested 25,462 individuals and recorded 2,610 new COVID cases. That's a 10.25% positivity rate. Does this worry you guys at all that, there's this high of a positivity rate in COVID-19 down in Florida?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm starting to see some players as far as, Kyrie Irving, Dwight Howard, and some other players in the NBA who are saying, where are we going here? Like, of all the states, I get it, but this is the most COVID-ridden state in the United States, or in the world really right now. So you're going to take people down there where it's the highest possible chance of them contracting the virus because of the number of cases that are being confirmed there, and you want to keep people there for 5 weeks? I mean, this feels to me, so far, again, the other leagues coming back, they haven't really had players testing since they've been going. I'm going to be honest. My gut tells me someone's going to test positive and catch a case during this tournament for the MLS or possibly even the NBA. And when that happens, what are you going to do? I just have a bad gut about the whole thing being in Florida because out of all the states, like you said, they've handled things the worst.
Them and Arizona, obviously. Mark, you have any feelings on this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm definitely following the news and, watching this. Look, listen, this is a huge undertaking. What's up?
You're good.
Oh, okay, sorry. Sorry. No, yeah, like going back to the NBA players, like, they are speaking out. Look, this is a huge undertaking, and at the end of the day, like most of these guys, most of us have been isolating or staying with the people that we know, and it's like let's say you're in a household, you can pretty much keep track of those members, right, and who they're hanging out with. But when you go to this bubble, right, all of a sudden you're placing your faith in a lot of people, and it's the same point I made before. Like at the end of the day, this is going to take a lot of people, and like now, like all of these people are in a bubble, supposedly following protocol, so to speak. But it really does just take like one or two people to fuck it up. So I can understand the trepidation on behalf of the athletes.
Yeah. Now, apparently, according to The Athletic, they've been saying that the players know that there will be health protocols and that they will be kept safe as much as possible. And if someone does get it, they will quarantine them immediately. But the worry is if multiple members of a team, test positive, and then what do you do then if a whole team has to bow out because of something that's obviously a worst case scenario, or even more worst case, I guess, maybe is multiple teams. So hopefully they have some kind of scenarios that they have kind of worked through, that they will have in place just in case something happens. But also, according to an athletic report, is that there's been a little bit of a dispute between the broadcasters, ESPN, Fox Sports, and Univision. And so in terms of it being in Disney World of Sports complex, obviously ESPN is owned by Disney. They've kind of been hand in hand with the MLS's back tournament and kind of creating it. And Fox Sports apparently felt that, they were kind of being slighted a little bit, that it was kind of being planned without them. And now they're having trouble agreeing with, how they're going to come about in terms of just the money that is going to exchange hands, because apparently it's all going to be ESPN, just the filming crew in terms of just the whole broadcast, and then there's going to be some fees that each broadcaster will have to pay. But either way, it would be kind of very ironic if it came down to the broadcasters that this doesn't happen. Like, do you guys foresee that something like this could kind of prohibit the tournament from happening?
No, I mean, I don't know. It's just it's hard for me to care about broadcasters right now, with everything else going on. Yeah, but I understand the importance of it. Don't get me wrong. I don't know all the details, but I guess I can sort of understand where Fox is coming from, if that's, as we know it, if that's the case. But honestly, man, like, just work it out. Who cares? Like, just, it can't be that difficult.
I think one of the interesting things that's not going to be talked about, though, is what the ramifications will be in terms of the relationships between Fox and MLS long term when it comes to renegotiating their TV deals. If you're Fox and the league is just going behind your back and not wanting to talk to you, do you really want to give that league money when it comes to future television? So, I think that's an interesting question, because there are relationships to have here, and you need to have relationships with TV partners, because that's where you're going to get your biggest chunk of money. And the more TV money you have, and the more money you can reinvest back into the league. And, for me, it just feels like another thing of MLS not thinking long term and only thinking short term about getting things done. And, you need a really good TV deal when the next TV deal comes around. And that's been really important in the CBA negotiations and really important for the players. And if you have less buyers, you're not going to be able to charge as much, and that can hurt them long term. So that's just the thing that I'm throwing out there, in terms of a theory of relationship building. And that's something that MLS seems to struggle at, because the players hate them, and now they're alienating one of their biggest TV rights partners. I mean, Fox carries MLS Cup. Like, Fox carries MLS Cup. And that's your biggest TV partner when it carries your premier competition. And for you to just leave them out in the cold because you want to get a deal done, it just doesn't seem.
Yeah, no, indeed. It is definitely, they need to shore up relationships for sure. Also, according to the athletic reports, the transfer window scheduling, like the rest of the soccer world, it's been affected by the shutdown for sure. But in the recent days, teams have been announcing signings of homegrown players and players from the USL. And sources say that MLS will soon open a 2-day transfer window to facilitate additional signings prior to the start of the Orlando tournament. And sources added that it is expected that the league will open a longer transfer window sometime after the end of the Orlando tournament. And that could coincide maybe with the world transfer window as well when that happens. But Carlos Bocanegra said to MLSsoccer.com that with kind of replacing kind of a little bit of at least having a striker in addition to the roster, not really exactly replacing Joseph Martinez per se. He said, really with Joseph, we didn't want to force the situation and bring somebody in. That's not changed. We're not going to force it, but if there is an opportunity to bring someone in and it makes sense, we will do that. it's not going to be getting a player just to get a player. Whoever we bring in is not Joseph. That's kind of the main sentiment. We don't want to force it. And so, what do you guys read from his comments there? I mean, pretty much, we're just not going to bring somebody in unless it's a deal that we absolutely love.
Yeah, I mean,
probably somewhere in there. Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, like we've all heard of coach speak, right? I feel like this is like director speak. I think what he's saying is fairly obvious. Yeah, they obviously shouldn't try to just sign someone for the sake of it. There's no Joseph Martinez on the market. I think we all understand that. So I think in a way, yeah, he's just kind of pouring water on fans' expectations for signing someone. But I have to believe that they have been scouting, in this during the shutdown and even before that.
Yeah, Tanner.
Yeah, I'm right there with him. I mean, I don't think Adam John is the solution to him. He doesn't really fit the style of play, like the style of play that we'd like. He's definitely going to get his chance, and I think that's fair for him to get his chance and see what he does in the side. But at the same time, I think that's a position that, as we've discovered via the stream, that Atlanta United does not have a lot of depth in. So it'll be very curious to see how Atlanta United lines up and how Atlanta United plays without Joseph Martinez. But also you got to think that, looking at recovery, you don't want to spend big money on somebody and then, Joseph's fit in 2 months and now what do you do with him? So I kind of agree with what Bogan is saying, and I get where he's coming from. But you'd like to see new signings. Fans love signings, especially in a time like this. It gives you something to get. I just don't see how they go out and spend the money on another striker.
Yeah, I mean, we did obviously bring J.J. Williams in. Whether he's a kind of long-term solution, that remains to be seen. But it probably leaves mostly, if we're talking about someone that can at least replicate to a degree, at least maybe even half of what Joseph Martinez does, is probably someone on loan. It's going to be it's going to be a tough move for the front office for sure to bring somebody in as a forward. But anyway, moving on from that.
Even in a loan situation, though, real quick on that, it's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
You think maybe you can try to finagle like a Pavon situation, which was absolutely abusing the roles, but at the same time with a loan, anybody that we want to bring in is going to have value. And the market as it is right now, no teams player value unless they're trying to get their wages off. So it's going to make it difficult as well.
Yeah, definitely. But moving on from that, So the Premier League is going to allow kind of sub-on music or walk-on music and also music in big moments. If MLS had this, which I hope, because, I mean, you saw the Prem already kind of do a little bit of that Zoom conferencing, at least at the end goals that I saw, Man City versus Arsenal match. There is that, where, if MLS allows this, would you guys, is there a song that, a specific player should sub onto, the possibilities? I said on Twitter that, the comeback for Joseph Martinez, if he comes back this season, I mean, that song and that moment is going to be huge. It's going to be a just mind-blowing moment that I think we'll forever remember. But do you guys have a suggestion for walk-on music for any of our players?
Well, a couple of things. First off, it was funny as hell because City couldn't even fill up their entire video screens on the Zoom. So the fact that the Etihad looked the same as it usually does, completely empty because they don't have real fans. But outside of me throwing shade at Manchester City, I feel like if Joseph made some miraculous return, I'm not a big fan of wrestling, but you'd have to use the Undertaker's music, right? Because he's basically rising from the dead. And if you just play the Undertaker's music and Joseph just starts walking out like it's WWE, that'd be just freaking awesome. Because every team is just like, shit, this man's back. Because it's the fear. It's the fear factor. Just these comes walking on, and you have that graveyard WWE style, just getting the smoke going at the bins, and he walks out and just oh damn, he's back.
Yo, and then you kill the lights too. Oh my god, it'd be perfect.
Exactly. Just give him just that intro. It's just he's back, and everyone's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we did
And there goes our chance.
Yeah, if we did, soccer like it was the drama of WWE. Oh my God! I mean, it might, we might actually gain more viewers from around the world because of just the pomp and circumstance, the kind of ridiculousness that we would be doing if we actually did that. But anyway, yeah, Mark.
Dude, I don't know, man. Now that I think about it, I feel like wrestling songs are actually the best walk. I mean, like, it's literally walkout music. But, like, if someone came out to, like, if you smell... Oh, my God.
That's what I was going to say. Oh, my God. Seriously.
Or, like, time to play the game. Oh, my God. I would lose it. Like, yeah.
Or if that glass shattering of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And then Joseph just walks out with that energy. It's just like, oh no.
Mercedes-Benz
with a cigar and like a thing of rum in his other hand, just walks out.
Mercedes-Benz would explode, and I mean, I don't know if WWE has kind of had an event at Mercedes-Benz Stadium yet, but I've kind of convinced myself that I need to go because
not even a WWE fan, but I was just like, shit, just get Joseph involved, and I'm there.
Oh my God,
I'm there.
Dennis Rodman has been involved with some WWE. Athletes have gone on to WWE. I wouldn't put it past Joseph Martinez if he was into wrestling at all. So that'd be awesome. But anyway, so those are probably pipe dreams at this point. We're just having some fun. But anyway, so moving on from that, around MLS, speaking of other athletes, Kevin Durant of the Brooklyn Nets has bought 5% of a stake in the Philadelphia Union. And his decision to join the ownership group was not only a sporting decision, but that he wants to help out the community in Chester, Pennsylvania. He said he's been a fan of the sport and he wants to see more fans pop up in different cities around the country, and seeing how these franchises impact the city's businesses and people individually was very intriguing. I think interesting. I think to me because Kevin Durant, I think maybe not the one or two best NBA players in the world right now, but I think definitely in the top 4 or 5. Buying a stake into a club like this, I mean, you already have a lot of famous owners around the league, like a Matthew McConaughey with Austin FC and Will Ferrell with LAFC. I think that just ups the cachet of MLS in general. What do you guys think?
Yeah, agreed. No, I think it's awesome that he's taking an interest in the sport, and I do love the touch as well about wanting to help the community of Chester. I think it was last year an article came out kind of detailing some of the rockiness between the team and that community. So, if that's part of his motivation, that is awesome. But I totally agree. Like the attention can only help MLS, and I wonder if it's like. If it really is like an investment opportunity to where, these clubs grow in value. I mean, like that's what we hope, right? That's certainly what I think Durant may be banking on as well. So it is interesting seeing people, I guess, take a chance on the league.
Yeah.
I mean, LeBron did the same thing with Liverpool, where he purchased like a 5% share,
right,
or something really small for like not a lot of money, and that has grown a lot.
That's a wise investment from LeBron.
Like a lot. It is like whatever he invested. I think it's worth like 10 times that now. Like it's crazy because obviously Liverpool are good again, and it's
right. But the timing of LeBron's investment actually was really smart by him, or shrewd by him, I should say.
Right. And so that's what's interesting also is, at one point Kevin Durant maybe had a shout as being maybe the best NBA player on the planet. And then, he buys the likes of Philadelphia Union, at least a stake in the ownership, and LeBron buys a stake in Liverpool. You kind of, it doesn't quite equate, perhaps, where maybe he should have tried to get some team in the Prem. Maybe in Everton or something like that, like where at least something, that in terms of a rivalry would have been been really interesting to see too, because of the history between Everton and Liverpool. That would have been, I think, maybe even more so, I think. But
banter would be good.
Yeah. but the community aspect is very admirable from Durant. But moving on from that, in terms of Champions League, it seems that there's a final scheduled for August 23rd in at least the European Champions League, rather. And so there is an 8-team tournament to be hosted in Lisbon, Portugal now, and that'll be kind of dates across August, and it'll be very interesting. I think, I think at least to my knowledge, it will be the first Champions League to have at least announced their plans, because obviously for the CONCACAF Champions League, that's still kind of up in the air and what's going to happen.
So we don't need it. Not important.
Selfishly,
no, just cancel this year's tournament. It never happened.
What tournament?
Yeah, no, there'll be, just, it's too much money to maybe just not have the tournament, so obviously they will have to have it, but it is for the, at least, fans of the English teams here, and the, at least fans involved, we're, maybe not too interested if they have one, but anyway, speaking of English Premier League teams, so they're, the Premier League is finally back. It has played 2 games on a Wednesday. Full transparency, we are filming on a Wednesday. I can see you guys. All right. But Aston Villa. Yeah, I might need a hug. But anyway, Aston Villa and Sheffield United played to a 0-0 draw with some controversy because of a non-VAR call, a non-goal line buzz on a watch. I mean, just kind of ridiculousness, and makes you shake your head at why there's even VAR to begin with anymore anyway. And then there was Man City versus Arsenal, and Arsenal just couldn't keep anybody healthy, and that's when it just started going downhill, and then the David Luiz show in a very negative way
came on.
And
may I
pretty
say
much
something like actually complimentary though? Leno was boss. Like, if you take David Luiz out of the equation, Arsenal actually held their own. Well, Leno really held his own. But David Luiz happened, and boy did he happen.
God, we started off the match decently, but when you make 2 absolute boneheaded mistakes, and then in the post-match interview just say, it's my fault, but then really not want to say anything else about it, and really just kind of dismiss it, and make it seem like you were distracted by contract talks during the shutdown. You're an absolute clown. Get out of Arsenal, David Luiz. God, it is absolutely, it pisses me off to no end. Holy crap.
No, he's been outrageously bad
for 1 season.
Yeah, it's an option, and then there's the other, option of 1 year, and absolutely he will not be returning to Arsenal after that performance.
He's suspended now, so that could have been the last time he ever plays for Arsenal. God bless, right?
Right.
Well, there's still 10 games, and 9 games now, so there's still a possibility. I think we still.
Well, no, because he only has 2 weeks left on his contract, and just like what's his name? Is it Ryan Fraser at Bournemouth? Who's not renewing his contract either. So in 2 weeks' time, when it hits June 30th, their contracts expire, because the clubs have had to work with those players to see if they want to extend them. And to my knowledge, David Luiz has not extended it. Same with Ryan Fraser. So it's like they're just not going to be able to play anymore because they'll be out of contract. I mean, I don't think you'll necessarily complain.
No, but it is one of those things. I think, though, we will be still short on center backs, but it is one of those. Kieran Deary played decently as a left center back. So, I mean, I think we'll at least find some sort of makeshift option if, anything's better than David Luiz at this moment. At this moment, anyway. I mean, I think in terms of his yellow card rates, giving away penalty rates, it's absolutely the worst in the league.
Listen, no, and it's shockingly bad. He's been giving away penalties and picking up red cards. Like, the rate he's been doing it for Arsenal versus Chelsea is like night and day. He's been outrageously bad for y'all. I don't know.
If there's a guy that's off the paces of the Prem, it's David Luiz. So, anyway, continuing on in the Prem, Manchester United's Marcus Rashford has done something I think pretty remarkable. He said in the United Kingdom government has done what is right after they made a U-turn and they extended its food voucher scheme to vulnerable children. Rashford told the politicians that this was, quote, never about me or you. This was never about politics. This was a cry out for help from vulnerable parents from all over the country. And I simply provided a platform for their voices to be heard. And following Rashford's letter that he sent out on, I think, not only on social media, but to the politicians that which received widespread support on social media, the government announced a 6-week, 120-pound COVID summer food fund that is thought to benefit around 15% of state school pupils. So, of course, not only great for Marcus Rashford and the people of the UK, but also for Tanner and Manchester United, because your boy is represented well.
Well, I mean, he's incredible. I think there's definitely a good shout that he'll get some New Year's honors when it comes around. I mean, he won't get knighted yet, but he could definitely get like member of the British Empire Order with the MBE or the OBE or whatever it is. I think there's a high likelihood of that happening because what he's been doing is incredible. Because not only has he through quarantine, he raised over 20 million pounds for the same cause. Like he raised 20 million pounds first by himself, and then helped get the British government to do this because he himself grew up in a single-parent household in a situation like this before. Obviously, he's making all the money for Manchester United. As a kid, he doesn't have those options, and he grew up in a very difficult environment. And now, at 22 years old, for someone to have the maturity and the eloquence that he's had, especially with some of the press that he's got in the UK, once he really stepped onto the scene, he was really taken to task by a lot of those tabloids about spending money and buying his mom a house and getting his family, sorted because they had nothing. And he worked hard, and he's an incredibly successful footballer now. But, for me personally, to see someone who's incredibly good on the field, but also has the character off the field to back that up, it couldn't make me happier as a player, for him to be playing for the club that I support. And, hopefully the gods of soccer and karma come in and he scores 5 goals against the Spurs on Friday.
I wouldn't mind seeing that either. But anyway, so moving on from that, the Bundesliga is done. Bayern have won their 8th in a row. And that's, it just monopolies in the world, pretty much. That's just another example of one. And, we'll just kind of leave it at that. But, Barca in La Liga, they go 5 clear after last night, or Tuesday night. Ansu Fati and Messi got themselves on the score sheet. And I mean, there's still a little bit of games, but that's a pretty commanding.
Real Madrid have a game in hand, though, do they not?
They might, and so it might get a little bit closer, but still Barca are in pole position. So it'll be an interesting race, I think, to the end. But Barca do have the upper hand. But anyway, so that does it for the news for this week and for our housekeeping. Yes, we have our Twitch stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays and possibly on some other days as well. Stay tuned for that. But yes, Tanner has been playing Atlanta United in the EFL Championship and doing quite well, actually. And we just not only made it as an affiliate, but past 100 followers, and we are trying to make some emotes and some other fun things happen for you guys. So join us there, and it'll be a lot of fun to banter and see how well Tanner has been getting on and will get on. You can pretty much choose your own adventure here, so it's pretty awesome. So anyway, so that does it for the news and gets us to our Soccer Trivia Showdown. So Mark, take it away.
All right, and welcome to another edition of the 5 Stripe Weekly Soccer Trivia Showdown. And this is the ultimate showdown. It is 2-2, Game 5. It's a lot like, if you remember, when the first round of the NBA was only 5 games. But that might be an older reference. But this is the decider between Tanner and AJ. And so to kick us off, we have the deciding question. AJ, I'm going to ask you to turn your camera on once again.
All right.
Beautiful mane of yours.
Oh, appreciate that.
All right. So do my contestants have pen and paper?
Yes.
Okay. And so call your name if you have an answer down and show it. How many hat tricks does Joseph have?
AJ.
Tanner. Oh.
I
AJ got it first.
Yeah, I heard AJ. So he gets the tiebreaker. I figured both of you know that one. All right.
We finally got that one right. Yay!
So, entering round 1, 3 questions total. Both contestants can answer. It's 1 point each for a correct answer, maximum of 3 points in the round. In our 1-1 draw at Motagua, this player assisted Joseph's goal.
I don't know. Whatever. We'll go with this.
Okay. Yep.
Contestants.
PT.
Both of you said PT? Both of you are on the board with the
Sweet.
point. It was, in fact, PT.
It was like a kind of not really exactly PT. Like,
Yeah, that's
assisting
why I was
either,
just like,
but
was it
it's
really?
funny.
Like, he got credit, I thought.
Yeah, you gotta get the credit for it, but it was
Yeah, I think Joseph had a little to do still, right? But
like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. In question number 2. In 2017, 3 different goalkeepers started league matches for Atlanta United. Brad Guzan, Alakan, and whom?
Oh, yeah, it wasn't him. It was the other one. Oh.
Do both my contestants have an answer?
Yes.
See.
Let's see.
Kyle Rainish.
Kyle Rainish is correct, from Toronto, I believe. But yes, both of you got that one right. Both of you are at 2 points. For the final question of the first round. For Joseph's record-breaking goal in Orlando, this player provided the assist.
Assist is lightly used here, my opinion.
Okay, this
He
one,
actually, he actually
this one
has a
was
couple of assists to Joseph where it's just like he passed him the ball, but Joseph did everything else.
I will
Yeah.
say, like, I think he did this one nicely. But let me see. Let's see.
Yeah. Julian Gressel.
Julian Gressel is indeed correct, starting at right back. He made a nice run.
Yeah, but I mean, Joseph chopped 2 guys and then chipped
When
the
I
keeper.
thought he did so. Sure, but you know, someone still had to get him the ball.
It's like Julian Gressel assisted his goal against Cincinnati.
Oh well, yeah, that one. Okay. All right, so both of you sit at 3 points at the end of the first round. I think for the first
First time anyone's ever
Wow.
gone, we both gone 3 for 3. So hell yeah.
Yeah. All right, it's a competitive one. So in this case, AJ will answer the first question of the second round. Now in the second round, each contestant gets 3 questions of their own. It's 2 points for a correct answer, or 1 point if you call for multiple choice. If you get the answer wrong, your opponent has a chance to steal. And so to AJ, Joseph scored a penalty to beat Club America in the Campeones Cup. Who was fouled?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I love these questions.
Yeah, you do.
You really do.
Oh man. And you got that timer handy, Mark?
Oh,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
We'll hold ourselves all to that standard for sure.
So,
And I could go multiple choice, right?
yes, you can. Yep.
Multiple choice, please.
Multiple choice. All right. A. Mikey Ambrose. B. Florentine Pogba. C. Julian Gressel. D. Emerson Hyman.
I believe it was Florentine Pogba.
Is that a final answer?
B. Yes.
That is correct. For a
Yes.
point. It was indeed Florentine Pogba. I think he made a nice turn or something, and
Yeah. He got in the
He got
box.
in
Oh
the
yeah,
box.
I remember now. Yeah, I remember now. I was trying to think of it like in my head. All of a sudden, I remember it was just so goofy because it's just like you don't expect him to be there.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it was great. All right, so AJ goes up a point. So over to Tanner. In the match that Joseph broke the single season record, this player scored his only goal for the season.
multiple choice.
Multiple choice. All right. A. LGP. B. Chris McCann. C. Darlington Nagbe. D. Jeff Larentowicz.
I'm gonna say Chris McCann. Final answer.
AJ, you could steal.
Can I get the choices again?
Yes. So it was A. LGP. B. Chris McCann. C. Darlington Nagbe. D. Jeff Larentowicz.
A. Final answer.
Final answer. LGP did in fact score on a header to open the scoring of that match.
I knew it wasn't Nagbe, but I just didn't remember who else it was. I didn't think it was Larry either, which is why I went with McCann, because it was kind of a random one.
Right. All right, AJ, up 4-2 with a chance to build on that lead. Now, as we talked about last week, Joseph's last hat trick was versus DC United. This player made his Atlanta United debut in that match.
Sorry, say that again, because the score should be 5-3, right?
Yeah, it's 5-3.
5?
Yeah,
5-3.
because we both got all 3 in the first round, and he's gotten 2 in the second round.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Okay. No worry. And I got distracted, so what was the question?
Yeah. Okay.
Good luck.
As we talked about last week, Joseph's last hat trick came versus DC United.
Oh, I know who it is.
This player made his Atlanta United debut in that match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh, I think I knew.
Yeah. Okay. Multiple choice.
Multiple choice.
Damn, I wish you hadn't gone with that route.
All right. So A. Andrew Carlton. B. Sal Zizzo. C. Romario Williams. D. Eric Remedi.
And B and C. What were they again?
So you said you wanted B?
No, B and C. What were they again? Repeat it.
Yeah. B. Sal Zizzo. C. Romario Williams.
C.
Is that a final answer?
Yes.
Tanner, you can claw back into this one.
Eric Remedi.
Eric Remedi is correct.
Yeah, I remember it now.
Damn.
Summer signing, because it was in the middle of summer. That's why I was like, I know who. I was like, who's? I was like, okay, it was in 2018. Who would have made their debut? Then I was like, Remedi? Remedi's possible.
Yeah, I think the key there is remembering that was 2018. And so good job, Tanner. Cut into the lead a little bit.
That was a tough freaking question, though. When you asked that, I was just like, shit.
All right, so back to you again, Tanner. Now, obviously, Remedi and Nagbe formed a great partnership, but were not able to play together right away because of a long-term injury to Nagbe. What was the first game in which they played together? Who was the opponent?
Oh God, you're taking the piss. I'm gonna need multiple choice on this.
Sure. A. The Colorado Rapids. B. Real Salt Lake. C. San Jose Earthquakes. D. Chicago Fire.
Whatever this is gonna be a guess. What was C again?
The San Jose Quakes.
When in doubt, go with C. I'll say San Jose because it was later in the season. So when in doubt, go with a gut guess. I'm going to say San Jose.
AJ, you could extend this lead.
Okay. Can you repeat the other ones, please?
Yes. A. Colorado Rapids. B. Real Salt Lake. C. San Jose Quakes. D. Chicago Fire.
Well, you know it ain't C. This is a guess. I just want to go ahead and preface whatever AJ says is a pure guess.
D.
D. Chicago
Yes.
Fire. is unfortunately incorrect. It was the Colorado Rapids on a Saturday afternoon in which Nagby came back and played with Remedy on that day. So the score remains 5-4. Yes. Yeah. All right. AJ, back over to you. Miles Robinson has one career postseason start versus whom?
Oh, good question there.
Either that team
Damn.
or that team. There's only two teams I think it could be against in my brain.
Damn, man. Ah, that's so annoying. All right, just okay. Multiple choice.
Yeah, I was like,
I know it, but just in case.
Right. Okay, so multiple choice. A, Philadelphia Union. B, New England Revolution. C, NYCFC. D, Red Bull New York.
I thought I knew it. Shit.
Yeah, me too.
Damn,
One
son.
of my answers that I thought it could be was not included in that list.
Damn.
Shit.
Uh.
All aboard the guest train again. Woot
Yep.
woot.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What was C again? Sorry.
You're fine. I'll just do A, Philadelphia Union. B, New England Revs. C, NYCFC. D, Red Bull New York.
A.
A, Philadelphia Union. Tanner, you could tie this up right
Fucking
here.
hell.
I mean, I think it's either C or D. I'm going to say. I'm going to say NYCFC, so C.
That is correct, Tanner. You have tied it up. Jeff
Was it
Loren-
leg 1 or leg 2?
Leg 2, because Jeff Lorenowitz got hurt in leg 1.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was the home game against NYCFC, but it was that in Columbus. So I was like, did he randomly play against Columbus in the first season for no reason? I was like, I don't think he even played. But NYCFC was my other guess because that was all it is.
Yeah, Robinson's been robbed of all the playoff performances.
He really
that
has.
deserves, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, had he been fit last year, we would win the cup. I'll stand by that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Or
Right,
had a
so-
really good show.
I believe it's 5-5.
Mhm.
Does that sound right to you guys? I
Sounds
believe
right
it's
to me.
correct. Yeah. All right. And so, final question to Tanner. In all competitions versus this Eastern Conference rival, we only have one victory. It is not a postseason win.
It's not a postseason win. NYCFC again.
Final answer.
Final answer.
AJ, you could go back on top, baby, but no multiple choice is available.
Toronto FC.
Is that a final answer? AJ,
Yes.
AJ does go back into the lead. It is, in fact,
Boom.
Toronto FC. We earned our first victory versus Toronto in 2019 at home, and that is the only one to this
Oh,
day.
because we beat NYCFC last season at home.
Yeah, we beat them.
And we beat them the first season. We beat
Yeah,
them twice.
we
We
did.
beat them in the first
Yeah.
season. We beat them last year.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And in the playoffs.
Yeah, but you
Alright.
said non-postseason, so.
No, I'm saying, yeah. Well, we only have one. The point is that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because or else it would be Red Bulls. Pretty much.
Yeah, the Red Bulls was my first thing before you said it wasn't a postseason, and I was like, oh, well, shit.
Right.
An
Exactly.
all
When did we
important
beat
caveat.
Toronto again?
2019.
Oh, last year? At home?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it was 2-0 or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. So AJ is back on top, 7-5, going into the final round of the final quiz show between you guys. So,
Which
now-
bullshit question am I going to lose on today about some guy that came from some random continent and played in a random second division league that I've never heard of before? Looking forward to it.
Tanner is already fired up for this. So, going into the final round, you guys, of course, know the rules by now. Each competitor will get 3 questions. The first question is weighted 2 points. The second question is weighted 3 points. The final question will be weighted 5 points. And our competitors will randomly choose their categories. And so, AJ, you choose a number between 1 and 4.
4, please.
4. And Tanner,
3.
3. All right, Tanner. Your category today is Latin America.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, for 2 points, this player began his career with Newell's Old Boys.
Not him. Not him. Not him. Not him. Sorry, I'm running through the people in my brain. How long do I have for this question, by the way? And I'm not trying to stall.
No,
40
no,
seconds for each.
So,
How much?
I'll give a little more time. 30 seconds.
30
But, I mean,
seconds? Okay.
You've cut
okay.
into it already. Yeah.
Okay.
So, let's
30
say-
seconds.
Take 10 seconds.
I'm going to go with Meza.
Meza is incorrect. It is Franco
Franco
Escobar.
Escobar. Good.
Oh, damn. Whatever.
All right. Tanner, once again. This player made his debut in 2011 for River Plate.
I'm going to go with LGP.
LGP. Tanner takes the lead. 8-7. Yep. Yes, it was in fact LGP who made his debut for River Plate in 2011. All right, so to AJ. AJ, if you're gonna win this one, you have to earn it, buddy, because you got statistics.
Okay. God damn it.
All right. Only once has Brad Guzan held a shutout while Joseph scored a hat trick. Name that opponent.
Fuck off with that question.
No, I mean, look, how many hat tricks are there, right?
5, but I couldn't even tell you the number of times that he kept it clean. Is it 6?
Yeah.
Is it 6? Oh, it is 6. Yeah, it is 6.
No, but it's only been one occurrence. So who did that happen versus?
Oh, come on, man.
I'm working with you on this, dude. I'm trying to work my way through this and think about who it could be. It's not that
I'm trying to
hard.
remember all those teams too. It's
Well, he. I'm gonna help you. I don't
easy.
care. He wasn't in
no,
net for
no,
one of them.
don't. Damn, man.
All right.
Yep. Out Orlando City.
Orlando City is unfortunately incorrect. It's the
Was it
7-0. No.
Oh, it
7-0.
was the 7-0. I was thinking maybe his record-breaking one, but I think who scored for DC that day?
Yeah. That's a good question. I think it might have been Areola because they scored first.
Yeah, they scored first.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't DC, and I just couldn't remember some of the other ones. Yeah.
Orlando was the 3-3, where him and Dom Dwyer kept going back and forth, and then
I think he scored.
Guzan didn't play against Minnesota because he wasn't here yet.
Right. And also that was we allowed a goal in too.
Yeah, and we allowed a goal anyway.
All right. So back to AJ. I need the names. These 3 players finished with double-digit assists in 2017.
Okay. Yamil Assad. You heard me, right?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yamil Assad. Tito Fischalba. Miguel Almiron.
Aced it. Nailed it. Good job, AJ. Those are indeed the players that finished with double-digit assists that season. So it's 10-8, and we go back to Tanner for the final question.
I'm so fucked.
I'm just gonna tell you, I really enjoy this question.
Nah, you're a dickhead.
This player started his career at Joe Public FC.
I'm hanging up on this phone call right now. Like, dead ass. Dead ass. I have yet to call you out for a bullshit question all freaking time. I'm going to say Romario Williams. It's the only player I can think of that would play for some random ass team in the middle of nowhere. But that sounds like a random team in Jamaica or some shit. But that question's straight up bullshit.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer. Because I can't think of who could have played for some club I've literally never heard of in my entire life.
Tanner, I just want to say that you were so warm. You had the region right, but the country wrong. Joe Public FC is in Trinidad and Tobago, where Kenwin Jones made his debut. Congratulations, AJ!
Ah, campeones, campeones. He signed out.
He really did hang up.
Well, yeah, Tanner, if you're watching this, yeah, very well played to you, buddy, because, yeah, that's very, very tough, man. And, yeah, Mark, you were a brilliant quiz master the entire time. Really tough questions throughout, but I think, yeah, it is definitely, I think, a little bit contentious on the previous one, but this one was hard-fought, back and forth, but the cup stays with me. Yes, yes.
You know what, AJ? I just want to ask you this question for a bonus.
Sure.
Because you only have one more question anyway.
Yeah.
All right. In 2018, how many games did Atlanta United win away from home in the regular season?
In 2018?
Yeah.
Away from home in the regular season, I believe it was 10 because we set the record.
Dang, boy! It was in fact 10.
Yes, I would have won anyway.
There you go.
Yes, son. Campeones. I will take it. Yes, the
You need a
dub.
little MLS Cup to be, you know.
Oh yeah, I've been raising it already. But anyway, so that does it for the Soccer Trivia Showdown. Well played by Tanner. Unfortunately, commiserations to him. And yes, congratulations on a well I think, what's the word here? Well-moderated tournament throughout the entire time, Mark. But anyway, and I would say that if I lost or if I won, so...
I definitely got, you know, after the first couple of weeks, I think I got my bearings in terms of what questions work and what don't. So, no, it was fun.
Yeah.
I had fun with it.
Hell yeah. But yeah, there might have to be some sort of you know, tiebreaker between he and I. We'll see what happens, or we play with some viewers. We'll find out. But anyway, and that pretty much does it for the entire show, except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, if we streamed on YouTube, what would you guys like to see from us? Let us know in the comments below. We're looking forward to what you have to say. So guys, that does it for the show. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. And for Mark and Tanner, I'm AJ. Remember to, remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.